It's compelling, it's cutthroat, it's chaotic, it's clever, it's controversy and chaos, baby.
This is Controversy and Chaos. This is episode 34. Hello, everybody.
What it is.
Greetings.
Michelle, are you going to the beach?
I was about to ask, like, what are you about to do right now?
Where are you going?
Yeah, my niece has Mia and my family went to the beach today, so I gotta go and get them. Well, they're going to the beach, so I gotta go get them and drive them to the beach because they're gonna be left behind. So I just decided to go myself. Tomorrow's a new day, and I'll talk about that later. So I need a hard reset. Like I need to put my feet in the sand.
Okay. That's a very Pisces thing to say. I need to be near the water.
I went to the beach a couple weeks ago, and I think it healed me for a week. Um,
For a week.
That was a good week. Um, so I think I regret not going to the beach more often, especially because it's not far from me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, Sierra, how's your week been?
Girl, a week has been a week. Like Michelle said, we'll discuss that at a later date when the ink is dry. Because, niggas love to be clocking my tea. Anyway. But,
Do they? They be
yes.
talking. I
Yes.
hate nosy. I hate nosy.
Very much so nosy, to the point where somebody who knows damn well they shouldn't be requesting me on Facebook sent me a friend request as if I was going to accept that hoe. Like, you're crazy. Anyway. Yeah, so.
Can it be worse? Never mind.
What? Anyway, but.
Can't be. Yeah,
The week has
exactly.
definitely been eventful. I feel like at my big grown age in this season of life, I've been making like a lot of decisions that typical me would say is illogical and that you shouldn't do. But like me right now in this season is like, honestly, if you're never going to bet on yourself and just say balls to the wind, then you're not going to get to where you need to be. So that's the season. That's the era I'm in right now. Very cutesy. Not mindful at all.
I think it's very mindful, actually.
Okay, yeah, it is mindful. It's mindful for my own mental health. Yes, because on the next episode we'll talk about it. But for the things that I was going through, it was like you never realize how something affects your mental health or like your well-being until you like kind of remove yourself. At least for me, because I'm a very go 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 type of person. And then literally, I'm like, well, hold on, am I stressed and depressed? Like my hair, like when I took my braids out, I have so many gray hairs. My hair is like unhealthy, very like not thick and luxurious, like how it was when I put. No, it's very not cutesy at all. It's giving bald head. My like a patch right here is like so bad. Like to the point yesterday we were going out. I did a twist out on Friday, took it out. I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna be decent because I already knew my hair was like unhealthy. I took that twist out. I said, Matt, I want to die. Like my hair, I was so sad. Like it just looks so bad. It's uneven. I'm about to cut it all off. At least strict bob, Lord Farquaad, for real. So that's why I have this wig on today.
I like the bob on you, so.
Me too. So I'm gonna get the bob back and we'll go from there. But this weekend was a nice slow weekend. We went to like the Black Frederick Festival, which is really cool. It's only like their second or third year having it. And it was so many vendors, performers. They had like a jazz band, a go-go band, like all these different blickety black things. And I live in a very like small city that's becoming like a mini Montgomery County, if you will. A lot of more diverse people moving here and all this different stuff. So it's cool to see how like, okay, the town, the city, the county is developing, but like socially people are doing things to make that part develop as well, being that now we are this metropolis of all different people and things like that. So that was cool. Celine's, the Tyler stage has been toddlering, whooping my ass, but we're standing strong. Finally have her on a really good sleep schedule. The girl is going to bed by 8 o'clock every night. In the morning, it's hard to even get her up at 7:30. Like yesterday, she slept 14 hours. Now, she's probably going through a growth spurt, but that freaked me out because my child don't be sleeping. So, yeah. Finally turned the page there. Yeah, that's what I'm like, I'm going to take the sleep. So, yeah, nice, like, family weekend, like, real chill, real low-key. Yeah.
I like that y'all moved to Frederick during the time where it's like up and coming, so y'all can
Mm-hmm.
enjoy phases. Like y'all lived there before,
Mm-hmm.
and now you're back, and it's much different. So that's
Literally
good.
nothing like how it was when I was growing up. Like, no.
That's good. You know, most people be like, "Oh, look," I ain't gonna say people. Me, I don't. I have no desire to move back to Jersey, but I always like now. I'm like, okay, I'm a little bit older. If I do move back to Jersey, it's gonna have to be like very far from Newark. Like I
So,
have no desire to move back home,
what I
and it's
say,
changed.
I feel like I never wanted to move back here. That was like the last thing on my bingo card that I ever thought would ever happen in life. Matt as well. But I will say being here, it's really a mindset thing. Like, yes, you can live in your hometown and not have a hometown, small town mentality. Number one, like I know that there's more in the world than this place, and I
Mm-hmm.
desire to do more than just this place. I think this is a good like leveling ground for me because it gives me good balance between doing the things that I want to do, but also like having the type of family that I want to have and the family structure I want to have. But also for me, when I think about all the reasons why I didn't want to move back here, it was more so based off of like my surroundings and the people that were in my life at that time. I don't
Mm-hmm.
associate with any of those people. I don't see them around town. Nothing. Like it's almost like I'm not even in the place where I grew up. Like certain places when I go, it's so weird. I'm like, dang, I remember being 14, getting into a fight at the McDonald's by the movies. Like, and I just be thinking to myself, like, dang, I wonder
Is the
how.
movies of McDonald's still there?
Yes. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I drive past
Yes.
it to go get my nails done. Like, or even driving
The
to
McDonald's is still very much there and very much alive.
yes, even driving
And
to
thriving.
Teray's house, well, Teray's mom's house, that parking lot used to be super fresh and all the kids used to hang out in that parking lot. But now it's like not, it's like a figment. Yeah, it's not that. So you look at it and it's like, oh, the glory days. This is fun. But it's like
Mm-hmm.
also not your current reality because I don't surround myself with those same people. And I think when you, even though you're in the same area, when you change like the people that you surround yourself with and your mindset, it literally feels like I'm not in the same place. So there are still people here that are still doing the same shit that they was doing when I left the first time. I don't
Mm-hmm.
see them. I don't know them.
Yeah. See, I think I know that Newark is just not on my bingo card for a number of reasons. But I think at the top of the list is like it's a city. I don't want
Mhm.
to live. Like I have no desire. I like green space. I like quiet now. Like
Mhm.
I don't want to live in a city. And when I think about like family and friends, it's there. Like yeah, my family is there, but other than my best friend, ain't nobody there. They in New York. I mean, like I have a friend or two that's there, but they can hop on a plane and live it. Like the other friend that I have that actually lives in Newark or close to Newark, she just moved back here from LA, and she already like, yeah, I think I'm gonna go back to LA.
Mhm.
So like, ain't nobody there.
Yeah.
No reason for me to like just be far and like see you when I see you. That's where most of my adult life has been like on a see you when I see you kind of thing, and I'm okay with that right now.
Mhm. Yeah.
I like my peace.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, I feel like I have lived away from. No, I feel like technically Michelle has lived away from home the longest.
Mhm.
Mm,
Yeah.
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 Even the time you moved back, it was very short lived.
Yeah.
It wasn't long.
It was like I'm here to visit and be pregnant. I'll be back.
Mhm.
Enough time to cook, baby, and you was out.
Mhm.
Yeah, but I think even just like living away from home, like everybody knows, like I do miss living in Maryland.
Mhm.
But every time I think about, okay, what do you really miss about living home? It's never Maryland itself. I don't miss DC. I don't miss Maryland. Like DC is fun. Like when I go back and it's like, oh, we're going out. But would I really
Mhm.
want to live in this city? No. Could I afford
No.
to live in this city? Fuck no. And
Yeah.
even every time I think about, okay, moving back to Maryland, I'm like, one, I can't afford to live the way that I live right now in Atlanta. I can't afford to do that in Maryland. It's just
Mhm.
not possible. Like it would be our house that we have now would probably be 4 times the price. And it's like,
Mhm.
does that really make sense to justify moving back somewhere just for sheer comfortability to pay 4 times what you're paying right now, no, it doesn't make sense. And I feel like I see my family enough
We
between
were
them
this
coming
close.
here. Yeah.
Hmm.
You know, unless it be some crazy price drops, it just would never make sense. Financially, it would, or I would have to be super up. It would never financially make sense to leave and to come back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I feel like that's
just
because you're already a homeowner and all those other
yeah.
things.
Like if I
Yeah,
wasn't a homeowner and I was
yeah,
renting an apartment, yeah, I would have left.
yeah,
But I feel like we're more like
$2,000 rent here is $2,000 rent there. Like that don't matter.
yeah, yeah.
But a
yeah,
mortgage, taxes, and extra
Mm-hmm.
fees.
yeah. To still be paying that, I'd rather be doing that than be like, oh, you're gonna move. Oh, guess what? This mortgage is gonna be $4,000, and you got $4,000 to live in a townhouse. Oh, you want to live in a single family house? Baby, go ahead and up that shit. You're gonna be looking at a good $5,000-6,000, and I'm like, who? six
Yeah.
thousand dollars?
Well,
Six
it
thousand,
it
Dolores?
it really
I don't think
depends.
I
It
do
really
that.
depends because being that like we've been looking at homes and all these different things that like it obviously it depends on where you live and the type of house it is, whether it's a townhouse or a single family house, a new build, or it's a lot of different factors. But um, I don't know. A lot of times it'd be worth it if you can do it. $6,000 is crazy. I don't know if it's gonna be
I
six
don't think
thousand
I'm
dollars.
talking like a house your side. Well, I'm also talking about in Delaware, and I feel like a lot of the houses in certain parts of Delaware are not that far off from the ones in Maryland at
Yeah,
all. Like
yeah.
certain parts of Wilmington, Newark, Bear, it's just like Frederick and
Mhm,
Montgomery County as a whole, or
mhm,
Frederick County as a whole. So like I've seen houses that are like your size, the size of your house, maybe a little bit bigger. Like they my aunt, for example, she lives in Middletown. Her house right now, I think, is worth like 650. The houses in that development are like 650. It's a
mhm,
little bit bigger than her house, and she got like a huge yard, but she bought it for like 440.
mhm.
So I
Yeah, I'm
was like,
like, 650 is a shit. 440 is a lot.
yeah, 440 is. I mean,
I'm
I was
like,
looking at
huh?
houses in the 200s, so I'm out of
Yeah,
this
like
this conversation. The houses I was looking at is in the 200s. I'm not interested in
See, when
nobody's
I
40.
hear the numbers like for something for a home, I guess because how the market has been for a while, like that doesn't sound like a lot to me.
Seem like the new
yeah,
normal.
and
Yeah.
Yeah, but
and
you
that's
used to be able
also
to get a
from
nice house for
Yeah, like
250.
you can get a
yeah,
single back in the day you could get a single family house for like 450, 500, like where I grew up. Now,
yeah.
though
That is
now
But I think
still,
not living in Maryland, it's like, oh, houses
yeah.
don't cost this much everywhere. It's like
Mhm.
when you move out of Maryland and start looking at things, start purchasing property in different areas, you really see how expensive the cost of living is in Maryland.
Mhm.
Because it's like when it comes to like groceries and things like that, I would say I don't see there's no price difference.
mhm,
To me, I'm just like eggs
Mhm.
cost the same here that they cost there. Milk costs the same here that it costs there. Those things aren't different. When you get into even rent, when we first moved here, I didn't feel like our apartment was bigger, but I didn't feel like our rent was what they were like. Oh, Georgia is so cheap. Yeah, if you wanted $900 rent, it's gonna be gunshots ringing off all
right,
night.
Yeah.
right.
I don't want to live in those places, so we pay more for our nice, quiet apartment. But I
Mhm.
feel like we still paid the same exact price that we were paying in Maryland. We paid the exact same price in
Mhm,
rent. We didn't see a reduction in our rent, maybe like $50. It really
mhm,
comes in when you're purchasing. Because when we bought this house in 2021, whenever the hell we bought it, if we were looking at houses that were $400,000, we would probably have a 6-bedroom house for $400,000.
Mhm.
Whereas it's like in Maryland, you can get a 4-bedroom single family house, and it's like, yeah, same size, but you
Mhm.
still paying double, sometimes triple the amount of money. And it's like that is really a lot of money for what you end up looking at. Oh, this is all that I got for this
Mhm.
for this amount of money when you start comparing what that same dollar value does in different places. It's just like, even if you took a $400,000 house and tried to buy a $400,000 house in New York, very different house.
That's not even a house, but
You be like, baby, what is this?
In Jersey, I think Savon said a 3-bedroom apartment is like $3,500.
Oh my God.
I'm like, yeah, Savon said that in Jersey, apartments are like $3,500 for a 3-bedroom. And that quickly reminded me of no. Like,
mm-hmm.
I'm not interested now. I will say in Jersey, there are more like tax credit apartments. Like, if you make under a certain amount, you only pay a certain amount of your rent. And I think it's the subsidy programs is like, if you a family of two and you make under $86,000, you only pay like this portion of your rent. You don't pay the $3,500. But if you want like a house in the hood, I've seen houses in the hood that's $650,000.
Mm-hmm.
The houses in Jersey are just in Newark. They're expensive, and I think a lot of them are like older builds, and they like have been there for a while. They got good bones. But I'm not moving back to Newark and paying that much for a damn thing. Like, it never gave that. I would
Mm-hmm.
move to an apartment in a nice neighborhood, and I would see that as my investment into my daughter's education before I move back to Newark or buy a home in Jersey that I really can't afford. No. Mm-mm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
them
Subsidy
prices.
programs be damned. Like, no. Mm-mm.
Them prices, I'd be like, whoo, okay. Is this what people are doing? I'm like, how
No.
much money do y'all make? Like, sometimes, like when I start hearing the numbers, or even when I see things, I'd be like, what the fuck do these people do for a
Yeah.
living? Like, this ain't one person's salary. This is about three salaries.
Even
Trying
like
to
my
pay
single friends that's paying $2,200 for a 1-bedroom apartment. I'm like, this don't even sound like a good like financial decision. But I get it because of all of the things that come with you living in this place. Like, y'all live in some nice apartments, but I just can't like financially crunching the numbers. I'd be like, nah,
Yeah,
it
but
don't make sense to me.
honestly, like Trey said, it's like if you want to live a certain way, you gonna have to pay for it. Like it really
Mhm.
just
Yeah, you're gonna
yeah,
have to
like
pay
you
for
could
it, or it's
find
gonna
an
be a sacrifice
yeah,
somewhere.
you can find an apartment for 1,800, 1,700, 1,600, 1,400. But do you actually want to live in that area? Do you want to actually live in that building? Whatever. Sometimes it it
I
costs.
would say Delaware is different between Newark because yes, if I paid,
Well,
I
I
don't
was
think
saying in general because even here it's like that. Like, yes, we could have found a way cheaper apartment, but there's just certain areas I'm not living in.
no, I'm saying it at home,
Oh,
it don't matter. The apartments are expensive everywhere. But
mm,
like here, I can go up the street. Like, it's this apartment complex. This is really nice. I was looking at like garages when I was looking at this apartment complex for something, but the apartments are like $1,600 and they're huge. Like,
mm-hmm,
probably bigger than like the bedrooms in the townhouse that I lived in Baltimore.
mm-hmm,
And I'm like, that's good. And it's a nice neighborhood. It's in the same like school district for me. But if you go to Wilmington, where you might not find parking and a homeless man might be outside, you could live in a beautiful high rise for $2,000 a month. So like stuff like that don't be making sense to me, but also it's the city, so I'm just
yeah,
like,
mm-hmm,
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's all just, it all
I
ends
like
up it all boils down to like relative to like what you find important and
mm-hmm,
what you
yeah,
want to do extracurricularly. Because some people don't mind paying way more for their housing because they don't really go anywhere or do anything
yeah.
else.
If I was
So
a
mm-hmm,
it's like
commuter
you budget all of your money to this. But
to
me,
housing.
no, I like to go out. I like to do other things. So I'd be like,
Mhm.
we're gonna have to make sacrifices where it is. And then for now, it's just like we just gonna have to stay in Georgia.
Mhm.
mm-hmm,
Some things that I think are completely different in Georgia, like education, completely different in Maryland than it is in Georgia. It is far
Mhm.
better in Maryland than it is in Georgia. But it's like,
Mhm.
okay, in order to like housing wise, that is way more affordable here. Okay, you got to offset some costs with, if you're not happy with the schools, now you got to pay for private school. So it's
Mhm.
like everything is a give and take. You got to figure out what's
Yeah.
more important to you. But anyhow, I say all that to say, I don't think that I am moving back. I'm actually making plans to do a lot of things in my house to be like even more comfortable. Because y'all know I wasn't comfortable in my last house. This house,
Mhm.
I feel like this is my house.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, okay, you're comfortable here.
Whose
Now
house was
make it.
the
I don't know. It was the other owners.
yours?
I don't know. I don't know if it was because other people lived there before me.
Mm,
I didn't like their energy.
mm.
I think that's what it. I think that's really what it was. I don't think I
You
liked
should have
the
went
energy.
to Botanica.
I should have went to the Botanica and got and sprinkled some Florida water all over the house. Like it probably would have worked. Like I swear, like when we moved out of that house and into this house, I completely felt different. Like, cause y'all know, I was like, I can't stay in Atlanta not one more day longer. I want to fucking leave. I hate it here.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we moved into this house, I was still kind of like on the fence. I didn't feel like that like weird energy in the house because we were the first people to ever live here.
Yeah, that might be
But
it.
it's like now I like as I decorate things, like I decorated my office. I'm like, okay, I love this. My front room is pretty much where I would want it to be. Only thing I'm looking for is a sofa table that I've just refused to pay $1,200 for.
Mm.
So it's gonna
The
be
feng
empty right
shui in this
there.
house is very different.
Yeah, like
Because
it's
the one thing I
completely
remember
different.
about the old house is that when you walk in, is I remember the dining room and that big wall in your kitchen where the
Yes.
cabinet was. And it's like, why do I gotta? It was cute, but like I know stuff like that bothered me because I like open concept. There's a wall in my kitchen. I hate
Mm-hmm.
that
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah,
I don't
like
know
the
why
flow of
walls ever
everything,
exist in
the
kitchen.
flow of things really matters. It really
Hmm.
fucking matters. But it was just like I don't know. I don't know what the vibe is in this house. Like it was good for what it was supposed to do. That was our first house. It was never intended to be the house that we stayed in forever. We got a really good deal on the house. It was the perfect timing because we needed to. Our lease was up. We needed to get out of our apartment. We were having a baby 2 months after our lease was up. Shit, not even 2 months. Our lease was up in July. She was due in August. We had 30 days.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like the house came in at the perfect time. We were able to get the house because we put contracts on several other houses, didn't get them, got this one. So it was fine. The neighborhood was nice. It did what it needed to do. But it was always something off
Yeah,
about
like
it.
the cork that popped when I was sitting in your living room by myself one day. It was somebody in the house.
Yeah.
That house has something
It was a
going on. Like
nice
Michelle,
house.
when Michelle stayed at my house, and she was just like, "Your house makes a lot of noise," and I was just like, "It does." Like that ice maker was excruciatingly loud. And it would go, it had no rhyme or reason to when it would start making noise. Like it would just make noise. And you'd be like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I did not like being in that house by myself. Like if Colin would go out at night, I wouldn't even stay downstairs. I would go upstairs. I'm like, okay, Harper, I'm gonna put you to bed. I'm going to our room. I'm staying in this room and I'm not coming out. Like you talking about go get something to drink downstairs? Fuck no. If I didn't bring it upstairs, baby, it's just not happening.
Hot in mouth at 3
Mm-mm.
a.m.
Mm-mm.
But like this house, I get up and roam all night, like 3 in the morning. I surely will be downstairs making cereal in the complete dark. Not a care in the
Yeah.
fucking world. And I don't know. I think I just like be very sensitive to certain energies. And when it's off, I hate when I don't trust myself and I be like, no, some shit's off in here.
Yeah, that's why I won't take the security system on my house. That
Yeah,
bitch went off like 16 minutes after I came upstairs, and I was like,
police. Like, whose job is it to come check this out? I'm not leaving.
yo,
Yeah,
oof,
like,
yeah. Mm.
this house, I feel very comfortable. So if you guys would like to come and do a little construction paint party one day, I have
Yeah.
rooms that I need to paint, and I
You
need
know
to
my flight ticket.
listen.
You
And
got
that's
my name.
another thing. Like anytime I want to go home, I don't care what people say about Spirit and Frontier, baby. A $30 flight is gonna get me right every single time. I'm like, hello, somebody pick me up from the
You
airport.
ever get you
Well,
some?
I saw
Get you
y'all.
some.
Like I see y'all. I feel like I see Sierra at least every other month.
Literally. I'm like, I was telling Trey the
I
other
think you're
day.
I'm just going to get that $30 ticket,
Literally.
Sierra.
I think she's just a crackhead. Honestly.
Wait, what? Why?
I like to
Teray?
see my people.
Yeah, but
No,
like,
I have no problem
Sierra,
getting on a
I
flight.
think you need that thrill. I think you need to walk into the airport one day this week and go be like,
no.
how much is the flight to Atlanta?
No. Although
What?
we were talking about coming for in October, but
Go to the Halloween party.
In
that's what I'm
October.
talking about.
Oh, yes, yes. I'm sorry. I missed that. I was like, I zoned out for a second.
Yeah.
Whew.
But that'll
Going back.
also be Celine's first flight, so that'll be interesting. Mhm.
Right before her big one
Mhm.
that I forgot about until you reminded me the other day. I was so hurt. Let me just tell you, I've been trying to get Sierra to go to this Black Girls Vote ball with me. I feel like for 2 fucking years,
I'm
and they
always
said
doing something.
When
I'm
is it?
pissed.
It's in
It's
November.
the 22nd, I think.
November 22nd. And then
You're gonna be home,
Yeah,
Teray.
like, bitch, why you ain't invite
I
me? What
forgot you
the
live in Georgia.
fuck? What the fuck?
I forgot. I'm sorry. Yeah,
I'm like, when is this event taking place? Like, I might want to go to a ball or some shit. Goddamn.
damn.
See?
I'm sorry.
People
Yeah,
gotta stop treating me like I'm the uncool
holiday
friend. Like, we're
time.
not inviting her anywhere.
I always forget about how you do your holidays.
Christmas,
Yeah.
I am home. Thanksgiving, I am in Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
And it has been that way for like 6 years.
I'm trying to do holidays at home this year. We'll see how.
I need to request my pound cake a week early.
I'm banned.
Oh.
Yes, pound cakes and banana pudding, they need to be requested in advance.
Yeah.
Because when people spring it up, I'm like, excuse me? No.
Speaking of banana pudding, I had the best banana pudding cookie yesterday. It was so good. Like, I've
Big back, big
never
Treat.
real big. I ate the whole thing by myself. Like, it was so good. And they're locally owned. So they cater parties. You can order like the frozen in bulk and then like make them at home. All different types of stuff. So yeah. It was real good. Black owned too. Mm-hmm.
Me like it. Me like it.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and get it off your chest because I can
Yeah.
see
I'm just sitting here
the
looking like
heavy
what?
the heavy Negro side.
Right.
Okay, what?
Well, it kind of
Where's
goes
the
into
elephant in the room?
something
Some peanuts. Come on.
I
Right.
want to talk about today. I was thinking, like, do I want to be like really vulnerable?
Not
But then
the
I was like, there's a way to do this. So, and it kind of falls into like my update, my life update. And Sierra, I know you said that you want to talk about something next time, but I want to bring it up. It might come up.
Michelle about to stump all over that shit right now.
oh.
Yeah, I'm
And go.
sorry.
And go.
So, in honor of Latto's new album, there's a song on there that I listened to as soon as I opened my eyelids, my lashless eyelids this morning. And it's called Shout Out to Me.
Mm-hmm.
And I really felt the song because I quit my job.
Mm-hmm.
I resigned. And I know that I like talked to y'all about that in passing. But and I've quit a job before. I resigned and it was more like a hey, I got a new job, I gotta go. This one was more like one thing happened one Friday, I got a new job the next Friday, and then I was like, yeah, I gotta leave y'all. If you don't know, you're new here, I'm workaholic. So me leaving a job, especially one that I really liked, was very difficult. But I just found myself being in a place where I'm like, I'm not choosing me. And I feel like as soon as I choose me, so much is going to fall in place. And during this time of during this time of working for this organization, my health has been on the decline. My physical health, my mental health fucking sucked. And I feel like I'm still in recovery. Obviously it just happened, but I'm still in recovery. And I just got to a point where I'm like, I'm tired of proving myself. I feel like I was going so hard to prove something. And the reality of it is that I don't have to prove shit to anybody because who I am and what I bring to the table was very evident when you hired me for a job. And if you don't value that, I gotta get the fuck. And when I say that has been the marker of like how everything started to fall in place after, I'm just y'all know I'll be on my Tamla man. Like I just been wowed at just how like I feel like God has transformed everything in the past like week or two. But the vulnerable side of what I wanted to talk about also is that that has reflected in something that I had to do one of my personal relationships y'all know about. And I'm trying to be vague because Spy Kids and shit. But one of my personal relationship I had to take legal action against, and I did it, and it hurt me to do it, and I really I've been talking about how I felt guilty. I felt this guilt over me, and about doing it because I was taking personal responsibility for how they carried out their relationship with somebody else that I love. But it just had to happen because me first. And I think I mentioned that in another podcast. Like with the job, me first. With the it's not even really a relationship, but I'm in proximity to that person. Like we share a child together. Um, and so I had to do what I had to do because I'm always worried about like how a job is going to feel, how it's going to survive. Like being a martyr for an organization because I believed in the mission sometimes more than other people who are more invested in it, believed in it. But also like being a martyr to like there are no martyrs first of all. Like nobody is coming to applaud me or give me um a token or a championship ring for going through something. And so when I took legal action against this person, I just was like, okay, God, like you wouldn't let nothing else happen for me until I finally stood up for myself. And the hurt is going. I ain't got no more guilt left. That shit is gone. But it all made sense. Like this past week, I just been thinking about like, yeah, Michelle, it was time for you to really choose you. Like it was really you choose you, or you keep choosing jobs, you keep choosing money, you keep choosing other people's happiness and other people like how other people feel and what makes them comfortable, and you're gonna kill yourself. Like not physically harm myself, but I was really killing myself to just try to make sure everything else but Michelle was good. And I'm looking forward to this journey, this new journey, and just like knowing I told y'all like what's next for me, just being okay with my resourcefulness, trusting that I'm resourceful and that God has my back. So yeah. Um I know that was a mouthful, but shout out to me.
Her. Yeah. That is
We haven't talked about it, so I was like, I want to wait until like I've told y'all about it, but we haven't talked about either situation. So I'm also ready to just be like, fuck it, we here, we got a podcast. Y'all can know me in that way. Y'all can know something other than the fact that I'm dating and trying to buy a house at some point.
that's true. I think for me, it's not that I don't want to go into depth, but because of my
It's a matter of how comfortable
well,
you
no,
are.
it's not even about comfortability because I'm at the point in my life where I'd be really ready to air everybody the fuck out. I'm over it. Like everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody. But legally, I don't want them legal issues in these motherfuckers. Like, So I have to be very careful with the words that I choose. But I will say I too resigned from my place of employment after 7 years. Yeah. And it wasn't something that was like, oh my God, so shocking for me or anybody that's close to me because of everything that's been going on for at least the past year and a half. But after some unforeseen circumstances, I decided, as Michelle said, to put me first. Like, I'm sorry, Lucius, I got to put me first. I just think that it comes a point in your life where like you can't let in my real life and in the real world, I don't let people disrespect me. So why would I allow an employer to disrespect me just because you're signing over a paycheck barely, you know,
Mhm.
bi-weekly or whatever the pay schedule is. And a lot of different things in life like that. I think for me, people have been telling me to do it for a very long time, but mentally, I'm someone that like I can mentally trick myself into just being strong and like putting it in the back of my mind so that I'm not like constantly dwelling in the woe is me of my current situation. I think of things of like, oh, this is not going to last forever. Like, so I just disregard it. When in fact is like, no, it's not going to last forever, but it's going to keep lasting until you end it. Cause that's just how life is. Sometimes you have to make those decisions, but I think the scary part for me is that, like, after being somewhere for so long, and then, like, I'm 30, I'm married with a kid, like, making certain decisions like that is very hard to do because the unfamiliarity of what is to come a lot of times. And sometimes, like I said early in the episode, you have to make those illogical decisions to make your mental health worth waking up every day. Like,
Right.
honestly. So yeah, shout out to me, shout out to us, period.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, go ahead, Tori.
I'm about to do my ADHD firing squad because so many things popped into my mind over the course of y'all
Why
talking.
did you take notes?
I do. Girls in here, I can literally listen to 4 conversations at one time and know what's happening in all conversations. Anyway, so let's just get the very obvious things out of there. Sarah, I need that blush name. Text it to me. Thank you. I love the hair. I need that name too. Text it to me because
Oh my God.
I mean, every time I look at it, I'm like, oh, this is the signature look. This every time Cher's like, oh, I need a signature look. I need a signature look. Blah blah blah. This is the signature look. This is the signature hair. This is
Yeah.
the signature face. Boom. This is it. Done.
Yeah, this
Mission
is
accomplished. Whatever that hair is, give me 14 of them. I need it. Anyway,
Jesus Christ.
need
Son
14
of
of
Nazareth.
them. So those 2 things, check those off the list. Got it.
you're gonna hate me for
Anyway,
the blush because it's like a combo.
I don't care.
Okay.
I will buy it. I
Okay.
don't care. I will put it in my cart. It doesn't matter. Secondly, you guys know I'm a serial job quitter. I will quit a job, so I will quit some shit so fast. I don't care. I don't
She
care.
was like,
I'm like,
Resignation letter. Send.
I'm like, I'm like, oh, you want me to forward you my resignation letter? I got one. All you gotta do is change these 3 things right here. Boom, it's ready to go.
I
Like,
actually have your resignation letter in my email, my inbox. Yeah.
hello,
It's very
I
true.
be passing that shit around like grades to an exam. Do you need to
Yeah.
quit? Call me up and I will send you this resignation letter. Like, it's so easy because that one thing I feel like I have mastered. Like, oh, this shit don't serve me no more. You need me. I don't need you. Goodbye. So I'm happy that you guys are finally walking down that path. Sierra, I thought this shit was coming like 2 years ago.
It was, but for some
I was
reason, I
just
always
like,
made an
okay.
excuse as to why I shouldn't.
I know. And I thought 2 years ago, I was like, okay, she seems like she's ready.
Mm-hmm.
She seems like she's ready. She's going to finally let the people know. And you didn't do it. And I'm like, okay. But I understand that comes with a level of fear of being like, okay, well, what the fuck am I going to do next?
Mm-hmm.
Even if you have something lined up, it's
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, I know that this is lined up, but really, what the fuck am I going to do next? I've been so comfortable in this environment. I know I could do this job with my eyes closed.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I left Enterprise, that was the longest job I ever had. And I was with Enterprise almost 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, I had another job, but what the fuck? I have no clue what's going on at this new job. I
Right.
knew how to do this job
What if I
no
hate
matter.
it?
Like,
Yeah,
what
what
if
if
it's
I
just
hate
as
it? What if I
bad?
don't like exactly. I'm like, but that job made sense. I'm like, I could have stayed at Enterprise, did the job with my eyes closed, but also, took all of the like, I guess like workplace abuse that comes with it.
Mm-hmm.
Comes with the responsibility of, oh, you're the only person, literally the only person in this office. And if you've ever worked at an Enterprise, they choose the craziest locations to put offices. When I tell you the motel that used to be exactly a motel was across the street from my office, and I swear they used to have rallies there. Them KKK niggas. When I hear the bikes pulling up, I be like, oh baby, it's time for me to roll. I gotta get my stuff up out of here quickly.
Jesus.
I used to park right next to the front door.
It's some ignornees in this building day.
That shit was crazy. But it was just like, okay, I can take the workplace abuse of having to be the last person in this office to the point where it's like, oh, if you're the last person, you got to turn the alarm on, cut all the lights off, lock all the doors. Oh, I'm not the fucking janitor. What the fuck am I doing this shit for?
No
This
one
isn't my
being one
job.
time in there.
No, it's you running an entire department, even to the place where it's like, okay, I want my employees to not quit because them quitting directly affects on my performance. So I need y'all to stay. So I need y'all to be able to leave. at 5 o'clock, 5:30 on a regular schedule, and I'll just sit and finish all the work up because I can't have you quit because that's how much work, how much responsibility is on you when you become a manager in that company. Other people's actions directly affect what you got going on. So it's like, cool, I could stay
in every
here
department.
in every single department. It's like, yeah, my busiest times where I really have to be here all night, it's only 9 days long. Could I suck it up for 9 days? Sure. I've been sucking it up for 9 days for 5 years. But I could go somewhere else and make way more money and probably have to do less work. That job kind of shifted my mindset. Like I could leave. I turned in that resignation. I walked out the door and I never looked back.
Yeah.
That part, I know you got more, but that part I have a problem with. So like I've always still been able to go back to like before, it was enterprise. Not fuck them, but like fuck that mindset of me just being like, oh, I'm gonna keep this in my back pocket. Even when I left, even when I like turned in my resignation, I was like, oh, I'll just like hit up such and such and I'll like see if I can get back. Absolutely not. We are like, you either gonna look forward or you're gonna keep looking back. And that's where I'm at. Like, I'm not that pressed for y'all know I like my money and I was making a good coin. Like it was giving rich bitch. But I'm good. I'm good. I'm start like being able to measure, okay, I wrote down all my bills. I might not be able to go out to eat on a random Tuesday for just a second, but also go to the gym. Like you got a gym membership. Like eat a weight. Like I don't know. Do something different. No, for real. Like I need to really shift my mindset, and I'm okay with that right now because I was making the money, making all of this money, but I was tired, spending less time with my child. I was staying up late, not investing in something that could have been growing for the past however long I was at that job. And when I put it all on the scale, like there's no balance. So now we need to find some balance. Like I'm more interested in that right now, especially because I'm going into a new decade next year. And I'm looking around, I'm like, you got all the things that you need to do everything that you've always wanted. Like working at this job has made me realize this. I really be the smartest person in the fucking room. And I need to give myself credit for like all the things I know, the relationships I've made. Like I have everything I need, like in my everyday life and in my professional life. And I just felt like let's wrap this shit up. Like enough is enough. And I feel like God is like I'm not playing with you. You either going it's do or die.
Literally, it's literally giving either you going shit or get off the pot. Like really.
Get off the fucking pot. Like
truly.
Yes, that was perfect, Tiara.
It really comes down to that. Like when you know what you're supposed to be doing, and the more you keep avoiding it, shit never goes in your favor. Never. It never fucking goes in your favor. It's like, okay, you knew what you were supposed to do. It was evident 2 years ago what you were supposed to do. You wasn't ready. Okay, fine. You didn't do it. Now look what happened. That year post. Did it get better or did it get worse? It got worse. Then you waited another year and it still got worse. And now it's just like, okay, I'm showing you that it's only going to progressively get worse. So what are you gonna do? And it's just like,
but I think that like you can know something like even in a relationship, right? I do think that like sometimes prematurely leaving or exiting from something could be just as detrimental because a lot of times when you're not mentally or emotionally ready for something and you make a move on it, you end up just as fucked up, or if not worse, to be honest, because then you can't figure out how to crawl out that hole. I feel like you have to be mentally and like ready, like in a sound mind to be ready to make certain decisions in life. And that's why it's like, yes, in my head, should I have probably did this like 2 years ago? Shit, maybe even 3. Debatable, yes. But mentally you just have to be there.
And I get that. Like I understood like for you because I know how your mind operates. Like you weren't going to leave 2 years ago. No matter what, that shit could have caught on fire. You weren't gonna leave. Yeah. So it's just like, okay. But I think the thing that really I think the thing that comes into place is like what you're doing during that time that you're waiting for it to be okay to quit. It's like if you're just sitting there trying to make shit work there, then that's not what you should be doing. You should be getting
Right.
your own self ready to be like, okay, I know that I'm not mentally ready. Why am I not mentally ready? Is it because I don't know, like financially, how my life is going to be structured if I leave this job? If that's the case, then it's like, okay, you should be working on different ways that you can have income to supplement where you're doing. Or really be like, okay, if I look at my financial picture, what things can I eliminate that are just me being frivolous? I'm not saying to put it to a point where it's just like, oh, I only pay my bills and go to sleep. No. Can you still do some of the other things that you like? Maybe not 100% of those things. But can I do enough to feel like, okay, I don't just work and sleep, work and sleep, work and sleep. I still have some kind of a life. I still have more personal life balance. If you're able to do those things, it's like, okay, those are the things you needed to do and put in place while you were waiting for that 2-year period. Now that it's come, it's just like, oh, I got all this other shit structured. Actually, I can afford to live my life just fine, just comfortably, without having to deal with this bullshit. So now it's time to get rid of the bullshit and keep fucking going.
And then not only that, I think for me, it's like, you know, when you're someone who has so many transferable skills, I think you get lost in the sauce because it's like, I know what I can do, but it's like, what should I be doing? You know what I mean? I think you have to get to the mental space of like, yes, I can do all these things, but is that what I should be doing? Like, even,
or is that what I want to do?
Yeah.
I feel like one thing I've always admired about you, especially career wise, see, is like you've always been very adamant about what you don't want to fucking do.
Yeah.
You're just like, no, actually, I don't want to be the head of fucking HR. I don't want to do that shit.
No.
I don't fucking care. Like, I just want to do my job
and get the fuck.
And I need to
and whereas people chase that, you are like,
you're just like, no, wait. I'm cool. And I think that other people in your position would be like, okay, I want to leave this job because I'm trying to I want to be the head of HR. So if I'm not moving, then it's just like, what am I doing? But when you know, it's just like, this is just a means to an end. Like, I picked up the skills along the way. You've planned hella parties. You could go into event planning, corporate event planning if you really wanted to. It's like,
so
I can do this.
I think
I did this.
That's the scary part, but the exciting part at the same time is because the options for me are truly endless. Like, but like, that's when it comes into being mentally strong enough and being prepared to weigh your options and be like, okay, I'm not just going to jump on the next thing because they're going to pay me XYZ amount of dollars. I want to be intentional with the moves that I'm making. And 2 years ago, I wasn't mentally there. It was more so like, oh, I'm trying to survive. I'm not trying to survive. Like, so
are we?
Yeah. And that, I guess that's more so what I was trying to say. It's like, especially being 30, being a mom, all these different things. Like, I always think, like, if Celine was in this situation, what would I tell her? Like, how would I expect her to show up, or lead her how to show up? So it's like, okay, what is it that you really want out of your life and your career? Which is a scary thing to be thinking about at fucking 30. Especially someone like me who has been a planner and who has had the answer for everything my entire life. So, yeah.
I will tell you, when you hit 31, you're going to be like, what the fuck was I worried about at 30?
Yeah, because you just don't give a fuck about nothing.
I promise you.
The levels of don't give a fuckness, I just be like, Teray.
Listen, Michelle sent me something, and I forgot. I guess I gave her like a spicy response. She was like, oh, 31 is spicy. I was like, bitch, like Tahi. Like, I really don't fucking care. When I say, oh, I don't care about this, I don't give a fuck.
It's so,
and it's just like, where's like in our minds, 30 was just like, oh my God,
we were talking about
my life is over at 30. And it's like,
well, actually, I was excited about turning 30.
Yeah, it's exciting to turn 30, but it's also so many other things. And I feel like throughout this entire just recording, amount of times you have brought up that you're 30, you're gonna listen back like, wow, I said I was 30 like 5 times.
Because it's such a big age for me. I feel like it's a big grown age.
Yeah, it's like, it's a monumental thing that you build up to, and it's just like 30, 30, 30, 30, 30. And then you get to it, and you're like, okay, you survived 30. And then you're like, okay, bitch, I'm 31. Now what?
Literally.
I don't give a fuck.
Like
Like
the next
I know
thing for me,
exactly who I am right now.
yeah. The next age that I'm like, ooh, about is like 35, 36, because I just feel like I told myself by the time I'm 35, 36, I'll be done having kids so I get my boobs done. But at this route, I might, I don't know, what the math. I'm
With the
behind.
math.
The math ain't math. I'm a little behind schedule.
Maybe you had to leave the job first because you couldn't be
Yeah.
stressed about it.
No, seriously, that's a whole nother topic of discussion. Child, because I'm like, ooh, you is fucking with my mental health, my body. Like literally, the next morning when I woke up from sending that little three sentence resignation, because yeah, 3 sentence bitch.
I quit.
Like,
Dot.
the next morning I woke up and like I have no anxiety. My body felt very like at ease. And y'all know I got scoliosis. Like I'll be waking up feeling crunchy as hell. Like I'll be like, oh my God, my body is.
It's so crazy.
Listen, I'm about to go to the chiropractor to get my shit aligned. Like literally I didn't wake up with no, like normally when I wake up I'm like, what time is it? Like I'm just like in panic mode every morning. Ever since then I've just been waking up like, good morning. Like good morning, okay? It's a good morning. It's not just like, oh my God, Celine, crackhead timing. Like I've just been so like at ease.
I'm looking forward to that this week. Well, I turned in my laptop on Friday.
Oh, see, I didn't get there yet. That's why I was gonna save this for next week because
Well, I can't wait to know what you feel like when you do that. Cause
yeah.
I've been anxious.
The last
Even
time I
up
walked out
until
that
like
building.
6 p.m. Like I stopped working at like 4. But up until I dropped that laptop off, like everything in my house felt like in disarray. The way I came in here and lit the sage in my incense, my
Mm-hmm.
little, I forgot what it's called. Clear this bitch out. Turned on my fan in the attic. Pull the shit out and put it back into the universe. Like I don't need it because so much so that I woke up yesterday and I started cleaning because I'm just like, it gotta go.
Oh my God,
Like
me too. That's so weird. I'm
it
off
gotta
floor and
go. And I
everything.
don't clean on Saturdays. I
Yes.
clean on Sundays.
Yeah, I
But I
clean on
seen this
Saturdays.
post
Mm-hmm.
on Instagram. Somebody reposted this thing that says sometimes God allows you to experience everything that you thought would satisfy you, only to find out that it doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
And I was like, yeah, because I don't know if I told y'all, but I was fasting going into my birthday, and I was like, God, like do something new. Like I want to
Mm-hmm.
feel to me like what your plan is to me. And he was like, "What's up? What up, though?" Like
He said, you ask and you
immediately,
shall receive.
because just thinking, like y'all know how I feel. Like I wanted to buy a house, and I'm like, well, I had money, I had all of this, and then my car started acting crazy, so I had to put money there. I spent so much fucking money on that car. I'm sorry, I still get angry about it, but I spent so much money on my car. Um, but I still don't have a house. Like I'm still not living in a new house. And it's like I had the job, I had the money. It's like, all right, those things don't satisfy me.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what's gonna satisfy me. Like what's gonna satisfy me is like that thing that I started. And go fill out my form if you haven't, if you listen to Controversy and Chaos. But that is what's probably going to satisfy me at
Mm-hmm.
this point. And I just need to go for it because even when I was on LinkedIn, I can't find a job that I'm like interested in. I'm putting in my salary requirements and I'm just all the jobs that pop up, I'm like, I don't want to do none of this shit. Even if I had it, like shout out to the money, but I don't even want to do shit for the money. And I feel like when you get there,
Mm-hmm.
you'll be like that's when you know. Like you can't find nothing at all that you're interested in. And I am not I think since having a daughter, I have or having a child, I just say because this applies whether you have a girl or boy, I've become like a no stability.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I need to have income. I need W-2 income. Like even having a contract job or having an opportunity to like work under a contract for a company. I'm like, this don't seem stable enough. But now I'm just like, fuck it. Like we gonna figure it out along the way because I got skills, bitch, and somebody needs them. So we gonna ball till we fall. Like pick this up, pick
Truly.
that up. But it's gonna be things that I love to do. Like I'm tapping into like the creative side of me, but also the side that know your shit and somebody's gonna pay you for it because they paid you for it in the past, bitch.
Period.
Yeah. And then last thing, like outside of the salary, I mean not salary, child. Why would I say that?
Because you
Outside
the
of
money. You think in your
You the money
head, you the money grabber.
It gotta make sense and
Mhm.
dollars.
Period.
yes, it gotta make hella dollars. I don't keep the change. It needs to make dollars.
I know. I want my change. I cashed in some coins the other day, and I got like, I ain't gonna tell you how much I got, but I got some money.
Money.
Anyway, so
But
yeah,
yeah.
give me the change.
Your other thing, Michelle,
Oh, yeah.
that's the big one.
Yeah. Fuck all this job shit, to be honest
Fuck
with
all
you,
this.
because I
Fuck all
mean,
the.
yeah.
You're gonna get a new job. You've never not got a new job. I don't even be worried about you in that sense.
Mm-hmm.
One thing you gonna
Cause
get is
like
a job.
I like that's it. Like that sense, I never worry about. Oh my
Well,
gosh,
I
is
start
Michelle gonna
tomorrow. Y'all hear
Well,
that?
yeah, there.
exactly. But I never look at like any time like any like job shit that's happening with you. I never look at like, oh my god, is Michelle gonna be okay? Like she'll figure it out. But this Lord Voldemort situation, I just be like, I literally had to call Sierra. I was just like, I've never heard her like this. I was just like, I am concerned. I was like, I don't know
That
what
is
the
some
fuck is
real
going on,
dark
but
shit. And you know what? Sorry,
I
Tori, not to
am
cut you off, because
concerned.
I've been meaning to say this to you, Michelle. And you know, we be getting real in our spiritual Kojic bag, but like the Lord really be having his arms around you in every situation, even when you don't think he's there, he is there. Because
I'm about to cry.
I know that you could have done a lot of things in that situation. You could have made a lot of calls. You could have did some things, okay? But
Could have got
God,
real loud out there.
the Lord has hands all around you. You was able to
Yeah.
remove yourself from the situation, you and your child, and do what was needed to be done. There is still more that needs to be done, period. But
Yes. But
for now, you know, so I wanted to throw that little tidbit in there because all I kept thinking was like, oh, Lord, I know Michelle. Like, that ain't nothing but God, because
And just not wanting to get to that point. Like, it's so much that could have been done. And I always think about like all the situations I've ever seen. Even like my aunt, she died because somebody got so angry and he beat her like in her apartment. And I, for the past week, it's not that I fear this person at all, but like, you threatened to kill me. Like,
exactly. I think that was kind of, well, I've been done. But
yeah.
shit, I've been off of it since like 6 years ago. But I'm just like, you know what? At this point, it's like we're past the point of return. You can't come back from this.
yeah.
You can't come back from this. Once you could say whatever you want about somebody. You could tear somebody down as a parent, be like, oh, you're a bad parent, blah blah. You could say a whole bunch of shit because factually, we all know that this is untrue. A blind Stevie Wonder could see that this shit ain't true. So you could say whatever the fuck you want, but when we move into the realm of now you're threatening me,
And trying to get somebody else involved in front
you're
of my child.
you're
That's
threatening
where I was
me,
like,
you're getting other people involved, and you're doing all of this
yeah.
in front of your child. Yeah, your ass is grass. Don't ever let me see you.
And it's dark energy. Like, I don't want to be.
Yeah,
I don't want
it's
to be
bad
attached to
energy.
nothing.
Yeah, like you don't need that. Mia doesn't need that. Like it's just like, wow, you're a really disgusting fucking human being. So when you finally did what you needed to do, I was like, okay, finally.
Yeah.
Finally, it's like, okay, she's done. And I realized, like, even over the years, like, we've had multiple conversations. Until you're ready, you're never going to do anything. It's like, I could want so much for you to be like, we could have been done with this. No visitation, no nothing. We going zero contact.
Yeah. And some
But
people think
you
they
have
gotta
to.
be physical all the time. It's like, I was very clear, like, there are so many other factors that I just don't, I'm just washing my hands. Like, I don't want to be bothered with somebody just like, you are choosing to just make things difficult. You always want to argue. You don't never have nothing nice to say. You just like, keep the, y'all can, y'all clowns can keep the circus. Like that's kind of like where I am, and I think y'all know, I think in past episodes I've tried so hard to like be vague or like be kind and touch
Mhm.
around the situation, always be like, well, that's her dad and stuff. But nah, like and legal situations are sensitive, but I'm good. I
Mhm.
especially with my anxiety, I've told y'all like I have really bad anxiety, and just being scared to talk about that here at some
Mhm.
point because they've made comments about me having anxiety and having to take medicine that did not exist. But I've been scared to talk about stuff, and I'm just like, if I'm fighting to get rid of this fear, shouldn't I be getting rid of the person that is instilling the fear? Like, you gotta go.
Mhm.
And before I call all my cousins that I know be in the same vicinity of you at multiple times a week, but they don't say nothing because of me, before I take it there, because it can definitely get taken there, I'm gonna take myself back because that's gonna lead to things that like God just did not write in my plan. Like
Mhm.
Mhm.
you go in your corner and you deal with the consequences of these repercussions, and I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna live my life and I'm gonna take care of my child healthy. I
Mhm.
need to be healthy to take care of her because you've
Yeah.
already made it clear that not only are you not healthy, but you don't got no desire to do what I do on a daily basis.
I know we are about to wrap up, but I also wanted to say that, like, in this new awakening of my life, Michelle, that just reminded me that, like, I have a huge vulnerability issue, whether that's private or public. And I feel like at one point in my life, I really didn't care about anything. Like, when I think about even being on social media as a content creator and all this stuff, I feel like a lot of the reasons why I'm not progressing in the way that I think I should is because there's a visible wall of like uncomfortability.
Mm.
Like, I know I have a mouth and I have thoughts, a lot of opinions, but why am I so fearful to be as open with it? Like on the podcast, I'm comfortable, but like there are certain topics that we haven't touched on that I do think I want to touch on that I'm ready to talk about. But it's just like I want to remove all of that like fear and everything to just kind of like share my life or journey or story or different things because I just feel like the things that we've all experienced in our lives are things that should be talked about because a lot of younger women go through these things too.
Mm.
And I don't know, I just don't feel like when I was going through these stages, I had people to actually look at and be like, okay, well, how did you handle that? Or what were you even thinking or feeling at that time? Like, is this normal? Like, all those different things. So I just want to remove remove fear, feeling embarrassed, because y'all know my biggest thing is like my pride. Like, you ain't about to embarrass me. Like, that
Mhm.
sort of thing. Like the people that can get on the internet or on a podcast and just spill their guts. I always admire that because obviously I would never spill guts about people that I know wouldn't want their business told or certain things like that. But sometimes I want to share certain things, but I think in my head like, okay, how is this person going to think about it or be affected if I share my truth? So you just
I
reminded me of
mean,
that.
I do know that if people poke their noses in this episode, there probably will be some like response.
Oh yeah.
But I
Mm.
I always say and have said anything that I text, anything that could be copied, I'm standing 10 toes down. And I'm also just not gonna go back and forth. Like it'll very much so be a yeah.
That's what I said.
Like now, if y'all want to
Listen,
follow
in
me
the
on
words of
TikTok,
Tokyo
y'all will
Tony,
not get a response. Y'all want to follow me on
yeah,
Instagram, you will
just
not see a response.
in the words of Tokyo Tony, we're gonna sit on business. Y'all bitches can stand.
I'm saying,
Hmm.
I'm gonna sit.
and it's not beef.
Sit right
It's
there.
just like again, for me, I
And
gotta
no,
choose
you gotta
me.
say. In the words of Tokyo Tony, do you see my hands? Are they
Yeah.
shaking
Do
to
they
you?
look like shaking to you?
Oh, not a
No.
piece of hair.
No.
Straight.
And y'all got the red
No.
lip too? Oh my god. What she got in the camera and said, do you
She
see
said,
my hands?
my hands, do they look like they shaking to
Yeah,
you? Like that bitch is crazy. She's
she's me.
she's
I love
she's
her.
fucking nuts. But Love it. But yeah, it's just. Ooh, I feel like we're really gonna have to get into some things now.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I just had like a cleanse.
I cried a little bit. I
Okay.
don't think I cried since I called
Yeah.
Teray. Like, bitch, I'm gonna have to. Yeah.
Listen, I was ready. I'm like, I'm gonna need such and such to be on standby because if I need to give me a flight to Philly right now,
Mm.
I got the funds and I will book said flights.
It was bad.
And we'll take flight right now, first thing in the morning. Like,
I don't want to.
what
I
are we
don't
doing
want to
here?
get to that point again. That's the thing. Like, I never want to go through that again. That's so. It was so fucking dramatic. And my
Yeah. Oh, I didn't mean about him.
no, no, no,
Like,
no,
fuck that
no.
nigga. I'm
You not being
like,
okay.
I'm like, cause y'all know I don't. Yeah, like I don't like when my friends cry. Like I am heavy, like 10 toes behind my friend. You got beef with them, baby. We have beef forever.
Yes.
Girl, yeah.
Forever. Don't. I am that friend. Like, oh, there's a real issue. Like if it's just like some surface level shit, okay, cool. But if there's a deep rooted issue, I'm the kind of friend. Don't speak to me. Don't look in my fucking direction. Michelle will tell you that nigga don't even don't breathe next to me.
I was just telling somebody about when you was in the car
She
with
fucking
me.
knows better.
I was like, she's such a fucking bully, but really, like, don't talk to her.
I'm not a bully. I'll sit here. I'm like, me and Noel. Here's your things, babe. Bye, Nia. I am that person. Like you could stand this close to my fucking face. I will act like you don't fucking exist.
That is
Right through you.
Yeah.
Well, when the situation happened, for context, I was by myself, so you know that's why it went how it went.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's probably the best for now, at least. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm happy you got it out. Everybody got the tings off their chest. Everybody can feel free.
I'm sorry, my
Rise from the
intrusive
ashes
thoughts
like a
one.
phoenix. And yeah.
The intrusive thought just told me that like this bust down looked like Michael Jackson. Like Michael Jackson, if I cut it like right here, this is so Michael Jackson hair. Because when I just
controversy and chaos. Because what the fuck?
okay, fine,
Absolutely.
fine, bye.
Because
Okay.
yeah, I think we're just gonna wrap it up on that note.
I feel like sweat it out, sweat it out, sweat it out. It'd be like outro
Hey, yo.
music.
We should start doing an outro
Yeah.
song episode. What y'all want the song to be this episode? We
Shout
could
out to
try it
me.
and see. Hopefully.
Bye-bye.
Oh yeah, okay. We're gonna do shout out to me. Her.
Yeah.
Enjoy the
There we go.
tune.